Shabbat, Shalom. In this week's parasha, we read the parasha of Jethro, Yitro. We're going to receive the 10 Commandments, the moment we were waiting for from the beginning. The Exodus was for this moment, receiving the Torah, receiving the message of God to the world. But just before that, we need to encounter two interesting figures. One is going to be an individual, Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, and the second is going to be a nation. We read about them in the last week portion. They're called the Amaleks. And we know that they fought for no reason against the people of Israel. Let's start with them. Imagine this encounter. Usually when nations go into war, they come for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a story of territory. The people of Israel had no territory to offer. They were wandering in the desert. So that's not the reason. Maybe it's because something that happened in the past, they never knew them. Maybe just to show the victory in their power. Nobody knew it was in the end of the world. Maybe they were afraid from them attacking them. It was in Egypt just after they left. It was far away from where they situated. So they were fighting them for no reason. They were fighting them just because. What was the reason? I think that it's clear to say that the reason to fight against the people of Israel is because you're not really fighting against the people of Israel. You're fighting against their God. And the power of God liberating the people from the Exodus, from Egypt, resonated in a bad way to the people of Amalek. There's this power nation that comes out. The words on the street is that they have power, they have a good God, they have a strong God. We don't like them. They're not going to brag around it. So we hate their God, we hate the people, and for no reason, we're going to attack. This situation, when we're being attacked by the first basically nation that we encounter, puts us in a very bad question. Is this the world we came from? We were slaves in Egypt for so many years, and now we're outside, isolated, on the way to the nation. And the first encounter with a nation is a nation that does not accept us. Now remember, this is a promise made by God for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You will have a nation, and I'm also going to give you it very shortly now, 10 Commandments, a Torah, a message. Is this message is going to resonate only with you? Or there's going to be nations in the world or other people that are going to accept and understand what you bring to the table, what you bring to the world. So this first encounter with the nation of Amalek was a very bad situation. They understood that maybe everything they were told in the past about this resonating message to the world is not going to be relevant. Of course, we know that the people of Amalek chose not to be a part of God's message. There are people throughout the generations, till this day, individuals or nations, groups that don't want to do any good. There are some people that are fed by love, by good, by giving, by caring, and some people are fed by destroying, by making people suffer, by darkness. And those nations, those groups are always out there. From the very earliest time of the Bible and all throughout the history, there were always this bad group, individual, a nation, a part of society that always wanted bad all day, and they were feeding from it. Just now in the war, we see how viciousness and evil comes, and people are cheering and clapping in the streets. So the people of Israel, at that moment when they encounter Amalek, at that moment they probably realized that's what we're dealing with. That's the world. So this group who shows bad example have to accept bad and evil and darkness. But can it be that there are people who are going to accept good? They're going to see good in life. They're going to see and they're going to be positive. And they will welcome themselves with love and emotions. How do you do that? You choose. Yes, evil exists. And this is our decision. This is our free will to decide if we go with darkness or we go with light. So in that moment, just before the 10 Commandments are going to be given and the message of God would be given to the people, you had to encounter Jethro. Jethro was an example of a person, of an individual that came from the outside. He wasn't part of Israel. He could be, just like Amalek, coming from outside, criticizing, seeing only bad, only evil, only negativity. But he saw different. He saw the potential. He saw the good. He saw the blessing. He saw the positivity. And he decides to join Israel. When he comes to Israel, and he comes to Moses, and he says, I heard what you did. I heard what you brought. I heard your message. I heard your story, and I want to be a part of it. I appreciate that. I bless that. I thank God for that. And that moment, the people of Israel had to encounter Jethro because of the small, minor belief. If there's one person in the world that can choose good, kindness, heart, love, there could be many other. There could be nations. There could be groups and individuals and societies that are going to choose the right path. They will see the light of the people of Israel. They would see the light of the Torah. They would see the light of Jewish wisdom, Jewish tradition, and what this tradition brought to the world, brings to the world. At this dark time, a very dark time of war, and the war continues, and we hear about casualties on a daily basis, I hope that everybody who listens today remembers how we see this deciding on the good spot, the good part of Israel, is just like in those days, the right decision by the right people who showcase in their life what is good, what is kind. These are the Jethros of the nation. These are the Jethros of the world. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, only blessing and good for the people of Israel, the land of Israel, and all the people that are in their side.